Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Grand Valley State University Laker Experience Day engineering session. I am Josh Ware, an admissions counselor, and I hope you enjoyed this 30-minute session. I'll be here in the background to answer any questions in the question and answer feature throughout this session, so please feel free to type any questions. I'll be happy to answer them privately or answer them live. When the panelist is done presenting, I'll unmute myself just to go over a few housekeeping items. Now, let me introduce to you Wael Mukhtar.
Great, thank you, Josh. My name is Wael Mukhtar. I'm the Director of School of Engineering, and it's my pleasure to spend this couple of minutes with you talking about the most thing I love in life. So I have been an engineer more than half of my life. And I know you're here in the session because you're interested in engineering, you like engineering. Let me use this couple of minutes to share with you only three things. Career is about something you love, you really, really love and enjoy, something you are really good at, and something people want to hire you for. So let's start with this one. Why I love engineering, why engineering is something that I want you to love and make sure that you are really interested in it. Engineering is about creating something you have in mind, some idea you have, something you like to enjoy. Why in Grand Valley engineering is the engineering for you? Because from day one, we get you to work in projects. You work in industry, you work in a co-op, you work in building and designing. So I do research in self-driving cars, and this is a future. Maybe most of you in some years, 10, 15 years, will be driving this car, actually riding this car that drives itself. So let me apply to self-driving cars what is engineering. Somebody has to design a frame, metal, wheels, engine to make this car go. That's a mechanical engineer. Somebody has to design the controller that get the control to drive the car and see people and avoid it and change the speed. That is an electrical engineer. Somebody has to program it and create codes that get that car to be smart enough to pick the right direction, to know this is a car, this is a road, this is a high speed, this is low speed, read the traffic light, and so on. That's a computer engineer. And then we're not making one car, we're making thousands and millions of this car. We need a production engineer, a product design engineer, that you have to have machines that make these cars. And the last one, we need a device, which is a car, that interacts with a human. So safety, comfort in the chair, how I use it, how I interact it as a human. This is biomedical engineer. These are the 5 engineering we have in Grand Valley. So if you love what I said, you are in the right place. So engineering is about designing something you use and apply to. So first rule in engineering is you have to, in career, you have to like what you do. You're going to spend the rest of your life, like myself, doing that. So you have to really like it. Second, you have to be good at it. How do we make sure that you are good at engineering? So the first 2 years in the engineering program, we get you to try all of that. Try to take courses in coding, that you do computer engineering, in electrical, that you do electrical engineering, in machines, and you design machines and so on. Production, you stand in front of a machine and build something. So that's all production engineer, and a little bit of biomedical engineer. So in this first 2 years, you try yourself, and then you discover that I'm really good at it. I can really design. I'm good in coding. I know I don't like coding, but I'm good in machining, and I can use a machine. So something you like, something you're good at, you get you to discover that. Now the third one is somebody can hire you. From day one, we get you to work on these projects. So after the 2 years, we send you to industry to work for 3 semesters with a skip in the middle. So summer, then you skip fall, winter, you skip summer, and then fall. So for these 3 semesters, one at a time, you work 40 hours a week in a company with a co-op industry. In the co-op industry, then we get you to actually see it inside the machine, the company, and you work with it, and beside that, you're actually paid. So you are paid to do that. We have a faculty mentoring you. Now you know that you're starting your career. You come back for the senior year, we get you to have an industry sponsor project. I consider that another industry experience, another year of industry experience. So 2 years of industry experience, 3 semesters of working industry in co-op, then you come back and work in a capstone project. This is a career starting while you are a student. I can tell you 100% of our students get jobs right away. And more than that, 70% of them get more than one job because they have the experience. They don't get a degree and they don't have the running experience. So back to the self-driving car. If you are one of the people that look at the future, this is the correct career for you. And we prepare you very well for it. We get you to try yourself for 2 years, taking a mix of engineering courses so that you know. Then we send you to industry for 3 semesters. We get you to have a project with a company, opening the door for you to have a stable and sustainable career that will get you all the way there. So that's why engineering is the right career for you. And that's why engineering Grand Valley is the right career for you. What's special about Grand Valley in general? We are teaching focused university. Your faculty job 100% is teaching you and growing you. So your faculty ratio to student is so small. Our classrooms, if it is a lab, will be under 20. If it is a lecture, believe it or not, it will be maximum 30. A typical number in other universities, you're talking about 100 to 200 students per faculty in a classroom for lecture. Now we need to hear this in person. Many of our faculty will remember the student's first name right away because we work closely with you. We work with you in the academic side. We have a support from day one, actually from before day one. You see the advising and the admission office is supporting you right away from the day you apply with us. So after 25 years of being an engineer, here is what 3 advices for you. Make sure you do something you really like and you are good at it. And what else? You are hireable or marketable, that you can find somebody to actually hire you. So this is general engineering information. Let me now show you a little bit of our website, and I'll show you on my screen here. Let me share my screen with you. So here it is. If you go to the engineering school website, that's what you see here. The engineering school website will have you all the information, and if you go down here, you see the undergrad programs. You click on it, this page will come out showing you all the undergrad programs that we're talking about: biomedical engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering. Interdisciplinary means it's custom-made engineering degree, and mechanical engineering. And then if I go to here, if I am under this part, industry, you see the co-op education. The co-op education is where we're going to send you to industry. So information here, a lot of information about it, but the main idea is we get you to work in industry right away. Last part I want to show you under industry is sponsoring a senior project. If I click on that here, you will see that you're going to see the capstone projects. Let me show you some of our projects. What you see here in front of you are companies. These are companies that work with us. These are some of the names around you. You can see some of the American Seating, automation, so all over the place. Donor works for embedded system and so on. And over a year, I would say we interact with maybe 100 to 150 companies where we get you to work. If you are from the area, Coops, for example, is a robotics company. Shape is a company that do in furniture and cars. Hayworth are similar company in here. E3 is more in the electrical side of things. These are companies we partner with, and we sponsor projects, and you work for them and you work for a project. So these are some examples. What you see here on the screen, some examples of these devices. So what you see in front of you are all examples of projects that students like you or you in 5 years build. So here is some photos I'm going to put in front of you on the screen so that you see what I'm talking about. So these are some examples of devices. This is more electrical devices. This is a student. These are students building with their own hands projects. And this is not just mechanical. You see the mechanical components here. You see on the other side the controller. And these are students multidiscipline working in a project with the skills that they learned in Grand Valley. Here is another engineering student working on the panel. As an engineer, typically, you will not be able to do that by hand, but we get you to learn the theory and the hands-on skills. Again, more photos in the electrical side and so on. You can see more of these projects in our website. So back to the main website, as a prospective students, you go here, you'll see all kind of information about what I talked about. Industry part, talking about the 30 years of co-op, the resources that we have, and the capstone. Again, let me finalize and get back to Josh. Engineering is about building, designing and building. We get you to learn a lot about design. Theory, you'll be very strong in theory. Many of our students, after finishing undergrad, they go to a graduate degree, get master's and PhD. This is a sign of how strong the theory is. Hands-on, you work in classroom, you work in companies, and then you have the skills. So these are examples of what we do. And we have been doing that for more than 30 years in industry. And we give you the flexibility of first 2 years to decide, try yourself and decide what will be good for me. So that's all the information I have for you. I'll be very happy to get in touch in person with you and assist with any question you have. Josh, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Wael. And thank you all for attending today's session. We hope that you found the event informative and helpful during these uncertain times. And if you haven't done so already, we would love to have you schedule an on-campus visit here in the near future. Please feel free to contact our admissions office at admissions@gvsu.edu or toll free at 800-748-0246 or locally at 616-331-2025 with any questions you might have. Thank you all and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.